What's up, YouTube? It's your main man, Avy the Hero, back again with another video. And I wanted to hop on here real fast, man. I'm actually about to go to the movies tonight and see that movie, Us. So I'm probably gonna be late because I wanted to get on here and rap with y'all for a little bit. Hear y'all thoughts, causes for concerns, and all things about this ESPN article that just dropped that is hinting towards the end of the Big Baller Brand era, right? And I know that there's a lot of haters out there who read that article and inside of themselves they smiling and they happy and they think like, I told you so, I told you so. And there's a lot of folks who had so many critical things to say about folks with inside the brand for a while, and they probably thinking to themselves, I told you so, I told you so. People hit me up, so many folks done already sent me messages. This is the article, I didn't even know that it was going down, and I got the article sent to me from a few different people just saying, yo, what's the deal? Oh my God, I hope this ain't true. And I will tell you that from what I can tell and from how they say sources have told me is that there's more to come from this story. And while the report may have a lot of factual information in it, that there will be more information that will be coming out here in the next couple of days. And I believe that and I think they mentioned it in this article, if you have not read this article on ESPN, that Allen will have an opportunity. He wants to meet with ESPN and share his side of the story, so expect that to come out. But we will be tracking this situation. From what I also can understand, is Big Baller Brand All-American game still seems to be underway as planned. So it's going to be an interesting thing, and I'll tell you why I feel like it's most interesting is because from obviously you have if you follow my content from when I first got in contact and met with those folks from the Big Baller Brand, I always said that they have a very tight family unit, right? You talk to LeVar, he talks about the trust that his boys have in him. You listen to LeVar talk about his relationship with his brother Allen and how they building this thing together. And we've seen on multiple levels where it's like LeVar controls the basketball, Allen's got the business. So now when you see a situation where you like Lonzo is like, yo, I'm done, it's over, whatever, and then you see you know, so you already know that puts LeVar in a crazy place. So he's gonna have some decisions to make. I'm sure Allen's gonna have some decisions to make. It seems like Lonzo has already made a decision, but then you got Jello and Melo. So there's a lot of people who are. It's a lot of it's a sad situation, you know what I'm saying? Somebody like myself who is a supporter and an advocate for the brand for sure since the beginning of the time, to see it come to this point, I feel like sucks. But I believe that one of the things that we see is they have been operating as a family. So it is going to be interesting to see how that family dynamic plays out in how the dust settles around this situation. Because you know how a lot of families happen. We might beef. It might be this big stuff. All of this, you did this, you did that, and at the end of the day, they end up being able to come to an agreement and come to terms. I ain't not gonna lie to you, James. I was nervous too. This shit hurt my heart to even read that. But let me give y'all some shout outs. High Life, what's up? Manifest Wallace, what's up? Jimbo's Barbecue Shack, you was in here first with the peace sign and the pound. I like it. Uncle John. Oh, just 7 years. Oh, I gotta fall back. Here's the thing about that. Like, yeah, that's I did not know that. I don't believe, but man, I don't think that just because you did some time, you don't deserve an opportunity. You know what I mean? One of the things that I will say about Allen is he is definitely a smart dude. He's a savvy businessman, and I think that a lot of times super savvy businessmen for sure take opportunities to cut a corner here, do this, and make point A get to point B as efficiently, as quick as possible. And I feel like I would hope that that's the type of situation that you find yourselves in, where like people need to put things together, and at the end of the day, it'll come out the way it's supposed to come out. What I will say, and what I think is most interesting, is this. From what I know, is like in the formation of the Big Baller brand, because the article kind of talks about that as well, and it talks about like back when they had these unbelievable shirts and all of that stuff, and then Allen was like, yo, we need to make this brand, put the work in, you need to do all of this stuff, and it formed, from what I was told, is at that point when the Ball brothers was on this super huge winning streak in California, and they were doing big things. Allen was doing international business over in like Nicaragua, and then not in Nicaragua, Morocco, and then got that call from LeVar like, yo, I got this big thing, like let's partner together. And one of the things that I also was told is like it wasn't like Allen initially put a lot of money into the brand. So I think that when you start to see it, if ties are severed at this point, it'll be interesting to see how those ties fall out or are severed, and who gets what and how does that break down. The article says that Lonzo owns 51% and the rest of them is kind of spread up 16%. So it'll be crazy to see. And like I said, the Big Baller Brand All-American game is coming up, so that'll be interesting to see how that turns out, if that's still on, if that will be an awkward event, what type of things happen with that. Lewis Campbell said, "You a fraud too?" I'm not a fraud, man. I'm just a regular old dude, YouTuber who is a supporter of the brand, just like most of y'all, and who, damn, like, so sad to hear that whole situation came out to be what it is. But I think that there will be much more news to come, and what we'll do is we'll continue the conversation, and I'll hop back on here, and then he was spot on this. I will say that it looks like that could be true, but like I said, only time will tell kind of how things will unravel. And I will say, man, stay tuned. We're going to have the content. We're going to keep coming. That article from ESPN was devastating for sure from me to hear. And, but what's your experience? Like I said, my experience with Allen, man, is he was the person who reached out to me to bring me in there. He was the person who, when I got to go to JBA, I got to go overseas. He was my contact. He's the person who I talked to. He's the person who, when I got paid, he paid me and all of that stuff. So that's where it's so a heartbreaking situation for me, because I really don't have much bad to say about anybody in that situation, right? I think that in working with them, there were times that, like, you think like, damn, I wish that this was done a little bit different, but those are the type of things that I feel like you feel when you work for anybody or working with anybody. So it's going to be interesting. Oh, it's sad. Money reveals all. Can someone give me a breakdown of what's going on? Just saw my notification and I'm shocked. Yeah, so it's an article on ESPN. It kind of goes deep and thorough, but it's a crazy situation where basically your boy Lonzo Ball saying that he is kind of cutting ties, and ESPN, boy, it also, let me say this too. I want to point out something to you. It also goes to show you, like, ESPN being on a job trying to tear some shit down anyway for a minute, and it looks like their hard work is paying off at this moment. But there'll be more news to come. So, but I gotta go. Like I said, I'm going to see this Us movie real quick, and then I will be back and we'll kind of discuss some of this stuff later. But yeah, we out. Peace.